Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gents. It is I, your good brother Jay News, back at it again here on the Hit the Ropes podcast, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live either on Delores' YouTube channel or my YouTube channel. So welcome, as she likes to say. I am here doing the solo dolo bit. I am here to catch you up on the week that was in professional wrestling. So let's get this underway. For the week. And we have it all starting off with Monday Night Raw, as we usually do, WWE. We have the 16th of March, which was the last Raw that aired live on Netflix. El Grande Americano with Bravo and Rayo Americano. They defeated El Grande Americano, the original. WWE Women's Intercontinental Title match. AJ Lee went one-on-one with Bayley, with AJ Lee retaining the championship. Good match there. Between the two ladies. WWE Intercontinental Championship, best match of the night. Penta defeated Dragon Lee in a straight up lucha banger. Natty defeated Maxine Dupree in their match, continuing their feud, which the fans didn't seem to take too much to. So I'm not too sure as to what direction Maxine and Natty will be going after their this particular feud. And in a non-title match, we had Stephanie Vaquer defeating Raquel Rodriguez, who was flanked by Liv Morgan. That continues the storyline between Stephanie and Liv going into WrestleMania. Next up, we've got NXT, which took place on Tuesday, the 17th of March. It was NXT's Booker T Appreciation Night. So we had a lot of celebration of Booker T, what he's meant to the WWE and NXT and things of that nature, and a small angle that was run there for Booker T with, I believe it was what's the young man's name that came up from Evolve. I forget right now, but it was the young man from Evolve who seems to be the next big deal in NXT, and it also involved Jasper Troy. But that was the angle that was run for Booker T Appreciation Night there. But to head on with the matches, we had WWE NXT Women's Title Triple Threat match. It was Jacy Jayne, the champion. She ended up defeating Sol Ruca and Zarya, where basically the other women, Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed, took aside Zarya, and Sol Ruca was able to do what she was able to do against Jacy Jayne, which wasn't much because Jacy Jayne ended up retaining. Los Americanos, Bravo, El Grande Americano, and Rayo Americano defeated the Vanity Project of Brad Baylor, Jackson Drake, and Ricky Smokes. WWE Women's Speed title match, Ren Sinclair, who was flanked by Kendall Gray, got a big time win for herself here as she defeated Fallon Henley. That's a big title change. This particular episode of NXT took place in Houston, Texas, which isn't too far from San Antonio, where Ren Sinclair is from. So big shout out to Ren Sinclair for her first title win on WWE programming. WWE NXT Tag Team Champion, number one contendership tournament semifinal match, the birthright of Channing Lorenzo and Uriah Connors. They defeated Hank and Tank. And then for the WWE NXT Women's North American title steel cage match, we had Tatum Paxley, the champion, defeat Izzy Dame in what seems to be regarded as the best match of their trilogy. So that was NXT there on Tuesday, on the 17th of March. Going along here, we're going to have next up, I believe, is SmackDown. SmackDown was on Friday. SmackDown was on Friday, the 20th, I believe. So that we don't have the results for SmackDown, as a matter of fact. Don't have the match breakdown either. But from what I can recall from SmackDown, just from a show point and liners breakdown, there was an overarching feud or brawl, should I say, between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, which basically took over the entire show. They were brawling all over the arena. The last scene during the tail end of the show had Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu falling off of the side of a building. So it was a wild scene there. With that, there was also a segment there between Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, which continues to build on their feud towards WrestleMania. By the end of that particular segment, Jade seems to have new baddies, aka cohorts with her that are B-Fab and Mia Yim. So it seems that Jade Cargill now has her own faction in that particular way. And then to break down to you as to what took place on SmackDown match-wise, we had a WWE Tag Team title match, which had Damian Priest and R-Truth defeat the MFTs. So we have new WWE Tag Team champions in Damian Priest and R-Truth. We then had the Motor City Machine Guns take on Fraxium in what was an excellent match there. We then had a match between Aleister Black and Sami Zayn, in which I believe Trick Williams was on commentary during this match, and he somewhat distracted Sami Zayn and aided Aleister Black in his win there. Trick Williams is just a heat magnet right now, and he's hot in the WWE universe. So anything having to do with his lemon pepper steppers and all that stuff seems to be jiving with the fans. At one point, Trick Williams threw a cup of water on Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn, that's how he became distracted, eventually rolled himself back into the ring, and then caught a black mass from Aleister Black. We then had the United States title match between Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov, which Carmelo Hayes retained his championship there. And then for the women's tag team title match, we had the Irresistible Forces of Lash Legend and Nia Jax. The champions retained their championships against the Bella Twins, who had earlier in the show had challenged the Irresistible Forces, but at the retaining of the championships ended up being a no contest between the Bellas and the Irresistible Forces, because the other tag teams in the women's division came out and essentially interfered in the match. So there is that on SmackDown, which took place on the 20th of March. We move on to AAA on Fox, which took place yesterday, Saturday, the 21st of March. AAA airs on YouTube for folks who don't know. We go on to the AAA World Tag Team title match. It was Pagano and Psycho Clown, the champions, retaining their championships in a no contest between the War Raiders. Seems like there was just a big fight that broke out between the War Raiders and Pagano and Psycho Clown and another tag team from what I saw on a clip online. Can't name the other tag team right now off the top of my head. Will Vice, Mr. Iguana, and Rey Fenix in a trios match defeated La Hiedra, Money Machine of Colmillo de Plata and Garra de Oro. So that was AAA on Fox for yesterday, the 21st of March. We go on from the WWE stuff this week. And we also have AEW, which Dynamite came through on Wednesday, the 18th of March. We had the return of Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay went one-on-one to open up the show with Blake Christian. Will Ospreay defeated Blake Christian. After Will Ospreay's defeat of Blake Christian, we had an angle being shot there of Will Ospreay basically getting on the microphone and calling out Jon Moxley, but Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta and Pac were coming out for their particular match. During the time that Will got on the mic, Will attacked them. He continued to attack them while the Bang Bang Gang came out to make their entrance and stuff like that. So that was an interesting beginning to the show. So we're going to be building up towards Will versus Moxley at some point between here and Dynasty. Death Riders of Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta ended up defeating the Bang Bang Gang of Ace Austin and Juice Robinson. With Austin Gunn on their side there. It was a decent tag team match. We then had the coffin match between Darby Allin and Gabe Kidd, which I mentioned to a friend of mine was a wild and lawless match. Darby Allin ended up beating Gabe Kidd. I had fun with the match. I thought the match was cool and stuff like that. I know a lot of the internet and people who The supposed journalist had issues with this match. This was exactly what Darby Allin gives the fans all the time, and Gabe Kidd was just a part of the show. So, shouts to those two guys for putting on that scale of entertainment. Mike Bailey defeated Mark Davis in a hotly contested one-on-one matchup there. Mark Davis continues to shine week to week on AEW Dynamite and or Collision, and so does Mike Bailey. Tremendous match between the two of those guys. In a no holds barred match, we had Mina Shirakawa defeat Marina Shafir. To me, this is my opinion, and I'm riding with it. Two matches in a row where Marina Shafir basically showed out for herself and made herself look like she plays her role to the best of her abilities. And Mina Shirakawa here shined as well in this no holds barred match. Mina Shirakawa defeated Marina Shafir. This match came about due to the fact that Toni Storm had earlier in the day been reported to be injured in a backstage assault, but it did come out via news outlets that unfortunately Toni Storm is going to be out for the foreseeable future. Some people say that she'll be out for the rest of 2026 due to injury or injuries. So we'll see as to how all that works out. All the best to Toni Storm, and hopefully she gets healthy soon. And then to end the night, we had a PWG party style tag team match. We had Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. They ended up going up against the Don Callis family of Kazuchika Okada, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. Jack Perry and the Bucks defeated the Don Callis family. Post-match, where is the most important thing, and the angle was run, we had Cope and Christian come out to cut a promo against the Young Bucks. Eventually, we had FTR come out, run down, try to get some comeuppance on the Bucks and Cope and Christian, but they were thwarted and ran away. It was also reported or announced, should I say, during this promo exchange between the Bucks and Cope and Christian, that Cope and Christian will be facing FTR coming up at AEW Dynasty. So that's something to look forward to there. Ring of Honor, Thursday, Honor Club on ROHWrestling.com. ROH Women's Pure title match. We had Deonna Purrazzo, the champion, defeat Billy Starks. Mark Davis defeated Angelico. Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, the Buster and the Brain, they defeated the Dark Order of Alex Reynolds and Evil Uno. Robin Renegade made her return to ROH as she defeated Rachel Ellering. Big Bill, one half of Paid in Full, defeated Logan Cruz. The Infantry of Christian XO and Trisha Dora. Christian X, I believe this is Christian's debut match. Along with Trisha Dora of the Infantry / STP, they defeated Dream Girl Ellie and Kelsey Reagan. The Grizzled Young Veterans, my guys, James Drake and Zach Gibson, along with Isla Dawn in a mixed six-way match. They defeated OXP, Rosario Grillo, and Valentina Rossi. Diamante, she defeated newcomer Hyena Hera. The Lethal Twist of Blake Christian, Jay Lethal, and Lee Johnson in a six-man defeated the superstars of Jimmy Wild, Nikki Eight, and Tommy Mars. And then for the ROH World Television title match, we had Nick Wayne, the champion, second week back on ROH TV, defeating Commander. And that was ROH for the week. We go on to Collision. Collision was split into two nights. We have a Slam Dunk Saturday, which took place yesterday. Slam Dunk Sunday is today after all the March Madness stuff. So this show, AEW TNT title match, we had Kyle Fletcher, the champion, defeat Robbie Eagles. La Facción Ingobernable of Dralístico, Rush, and the Beast Mortos. They defeated Alpha Zoe, Dom Kubrick, and Lucas Riley. The Brawling Birds of Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter, they defeated the Sisters of Sin of Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli and Daniel Garcia. They ended up going up against Commander and Máscara Dorada, and I believe the Death Riders won that match to end out the show. So that was Slam Dunk Saturday. Slam Dunk Sunday will take place tonight. To review for you guys what happened last Sunday, AEW Revolution was the big pay-per-view last Sunday for AEW, and that was on the 15th of March. The 0 Hour had some pre-show matches there. Boom and Doom, a Big Boom, AJ, and QT Marshall. They defeated the Infantry's Carly Bravo and Sean Dean. AEW TBS title match, we had Willow Nightingale, the champion. She ended up retaining her championship as she defeated Lena Cross. Earlier, during that match, should I say, Willow Nightingale ended up with a bad shoulder, which was the which was the ensuing storyline going into the main show, because Willow Nightingale had her tag match on the main show with Harley Cameron, and then the Dominion tag team. I'm forgetting the first part of their team name right now. AEW National Title 21 man Blackjack Battle Royal. Just know that the title changed hands. A lot of people were involved in this match. I thought that this match was a clusterfuck and it didn't go well. At the end of it all, Jungle Jack Perry ended up winning the AEW National Championship and things of that nature. No big returns in this particular 21 man Blackjack Battle Royal, and I couldn't keep part or keep up with what was happening there. So on to the main show we go. The 21 man Battle Royal leaked onto the main show, so it helped to start that. The official first match of the show, FTR, the champions, they defeated the Young Bucks, and I think which was their best match out of the four that they've had so far. Great tag team match there between the Young Bucks and FTR. Then post match is when we got the return of Cope and Christian to start that feud back up there with FTR. Then we got the Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir match. That was a hard-hitting affair between Toni Storm and Marina Shafir. They did what they could in order to keep the crowd engaged, and I think that the ladies did a good job there. I'm not sure as to what happened during the match which caused any injury to Toni Storm. She seemed fine after she left the ring and things of that nature, but we never know. Maybe something happened in between time, the pay-per-view and then Wednesday night. That might have been something that came up there, but Toni Storm ended up defeating Marina Shafir. Post-match, we had an angle run there where Ronda Rousey came out to the ring, and she surprised everybody because nobody knew Ronda Rousey was coming out. She ended up basically calling Toni Storm to the ring, and then Marina Shafir hit Toni from behind with a cheap shot, and then they just Marina Shafir and Ronda Rousey left the ring and left Toni laying there. Mina Shirakawa and Luther came out to assist Toni Storm to the back afterwards. For the AEW Continental title match, this was a no time limit match. It was Jon Moxley, the champion, ended up defeating Konosuke Takeshita in what was a great one-on-one bout between Konosuke Takeshita and Jon Moxley. It was surprising to me that Konosuke Takeshita didn't end up winning the Continental Championship, but I would assume that they have other plans for that Continental title. But great match nonetheless between Moxley and Takeshita. For the AEW Women's World Tag Team match, we had the Divine Dominion, there you go, of Lena Cross and Megan Bayne. They ended up defeating the Babes of Wrath of Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale, so there was a title change there. Willow Nightingale's shoulder injury did not help in this particular cause, and this match didn't even go longer than 5 minutes, if we're being honest. So that was more of a handedly done win there by the Divine Dominion. Swerve Strickland went one-on-one against Brody King in what was a match of one-upsmanship between Brody and Swerve Strickland. Another terrific match there between Brody and Swerve. After the match was over, Swerve was going to try to take Brody's head off with that cinder block, and out comes Kenny Omega to make the save, which sets up the match that they'll be having this Wednesday on Collision, which is going to be Swerve Strickland versus Kenny Omega 2 live on Dynamite this coming Wednesday. We then had an AEW Women's World Title best 2 out of 3 falls match. It was Tekla versus Chris Statlander. The result here ended up Tekla retaining her championship in what I thought was a very well contested 2 out of 3 falls match. Good back and forth there. Tekla got the first pin, Chris got the second pin, and then Tekla won the third fall there to retain the championship. In the AEW World Trios title match, we had Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Mike Bailey. They teamed with Mystico against the Don Callis family of Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis. Big time match here. Lots of fun, lots of hard-hitting action as well. Big title change here. Had Jet Speed and Mystico winning the AEW World Trios titles, and after the win, Mystico was emotional in the middle of the ring, and a big big promotional All Elite poster came up on the big screen there, which announced that Mystico was now All Elite. So Mystico is the latest CMLL talent to have a dual contract between AEW and CMLL. Congratulations to Mystico there. And Mystico is now Mystico 3 belts, as he owns not only the AEW World Trios titles, he has the CMLL World Trios titles, and he's also the light heavyweight champion in CMLL as well. So Mystico on the run of his career right now. So congratulations to him there. Andrade El Idolo ended up defeating Bandito in what was one of the best matches I have seen Andrade have versus a first-time opponent in quite some time. I knew that these guys would create fire, and they did. Shouts to Bandito, shouts to Andrade. Andrade getting the win here keeps him in viability for world title contention in the AEW world title picture, and maybe also in the future we'll get him a shot at Bandito's ROH championship. So we'll see as to how that plays into the future there. In the Tornado 6-man tag team match, we had Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. They defeated the Dogs of Clark Connors, David Finlay, and Gabe Kidd. I didn't like the outcome of this match. I didn't think that Roddy and Orange and Darby needed to win this match, being that the Dogs are fairly new to AEW. They just signed new contracts and things of that nature, and you want your newer guys to feel a semblance of importance, especially if you had in mind that Gabe Kidd was already going to lose to Darby Allin one-on-one on the following episode of Dynamite. I'm not too sure as to what the frame of thought and thinking there was on the result and the finish. So it was a fun match nonetheless. I thought that the match was on the card should have been placed elsewhere. It shouldn't have been the semi-main. I feel like that Tornado 6-man tag team match should have switched places with the AEW women's title match, the 2 out of 3 falls match, because I feel like they put all the women's matches too early on in the show, and there has to be some level of importance shown to the women on these pay-per-views. So those 2 matches would have been switched over, or if that Tornado 6-man match would have been just left for Dynamite instead of giving that coffin match on Dynamite, probably would have been a better switch to have happen and stuff like that, because I feel like they've done things out of order with the way the Dogs have been signed to AEW, and then the way that they've been booked so far. So not very strong so far. And then to end the night, one of the wildest Texas death matches I've seen ever. AEW always has a way of one-upping themselves. We had MJF, the champion, the AEW world champion, go one-on-one against the Hangman Adam Page, and MJF ended up retaining his championship in what was one of the most violent affairs and one of the most interesting and creative deathmatch affairs I've seen in quite some time. MJF pulling it out on his own, and he beat Adam Page, and he retained his championship, and that ended the show. And now Adam Page seems to be taking some time off from AEW TV. So that was Revolution last Sunday. We go on to TNA. So TNA on AMC took place on Thursday. We had, hold on one second because I can't see the entire slide. We had Thursday Night Impact happen on the 19th of March. The Hometown Man defeated Frankie Kazarian, Mr. Elegance, along with the rest of the Elegance brand. He defeated Mike Jackson. Ariana Grace and Danny Luna, they tagged as they defeated the Angel Warriors of Lee Ying Lee and Zaya Brookside. Moose with Alicia Edwards defeated Brian Myers, who was flanked by Bear Bronson, Cedric Alexander, and Andy Edwards. That match only went 12 seconds for whatever reason. Elena Black, she defeated Jada Stone. And then the Nemeths of Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth tagged, and they defeated the Righteous of Dutch and Vincent. That was TNA on Thursday. On to HOG. House of Glory Wrestling had their show this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken. This took place yesterday, no? I think. But anyways, we had a scramble match versus Angel Jacquez He defeated Tiny Giant, KB Prime, Papa Don, Jody Ora, and Raheem Royal, along with JJP. Indy Hartwell ended up defeating Deonna Purrazzo in a one-on-one match for the ladies there. In the HOG Cruiserweight Championship match, Darren Richardson, the champion, defeated Joey Silver to retain the HOG Cruiserweight Championship. The Acclaimed of Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, surprising to see them back together. They defeated the main event of Midas Black and Jay Lyon. Sammy Guevara defeated the Amazing Red. In a non-title match, we had Mina Shirakawa defeat Shotzi Blackheart due to interference from Indy Hartwell. So it seems that Indy Hartwell and Shotzi Blackheart are continuing their feud on HOG. But Mina Shirakawa winning this match means that Mina Shirakawa gets an eventual title shot against Shotzi somewhere down the road. And then we had the HOG World Championship match where Donovan Dijak defeated Charles Mason, the champion, via DQ. Therefore, Mason retains the title. So that was HOG this weekend. GCW took place. So much fun. The show, we had GCW streaming on Triller. Marcus Mathers defeating Ryan O'Neal. Joy Janela defeated Mr. Danger. GCW Tag Team title match. We have Busta and the Brain of Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, the champions. They defeated Don Freeze and Ruckus. Vandal 48, Atticus Cougar and Otis Cougar. They defeated John Wayne Murdoch and Vipress. In a four-way death match, we had Bear Bronson as he defeated Beastman, Connor Claxton, and Dr. Redacted. Bussy of Alley Catch and Effie. They went up ahead against Unsigned and Don't Care of Anakin Murphy and Gary J. And that match went to a no contest. And then to end the night, they had an Atlantic City street fight. It was Matt Tremont defeating Christian Napier. New Japan Pro Wrestling. The rest of what we had for the New Japan Cup. We have the show here. This show took place on the 15th of March, which was last Sunday. We had TMDK's Harley Jackson and Kosei Fujita defeat Taisei Nakahara, the newest Young Lion, and Yoshihashi. House of Torture members Chase Owens, Don Fale, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi. They defeated Aaron Wolf, Masatori Yasuda, Satoshi Kojima, and Toru Yano. United Empire's Francisco Akira, Great O'Khan, Hanare, Jake Lee, along with Jacob Austin Young. They defeated Unbound Codes, Drilla Maloney, Gato, Oscar, Yoda Suji, and Yuto Ice. United Empire's Cal Newman and Zane J. They defeated Goto Revolutionary Armies, Hiroki Goto, and Tatsuya Matsumoto. TMDK's Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma. And then in the quarterfinal matches that were leading up from the New Japan Cup, we had Oleg Bolton defeat Ren Narita, thankfully. And then Yuya Uemura defeated Shingo Takagi in a banger main event. On to the next night over. Did we skip one? Yeah, because no. Yeah, there you go. So this was the next night over. We had House of Torture, Chase Owens, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Yujiro Takahashi. They defeated Team 100 of Satoshi Kojima and Tai Chi, along with Masatori Yasuda. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, and Ren Narita defeated Aaron Wolf, Tatsuya Matsumoto, and Toru Yano. The Knockout Brothers of Oscar and Yuto Ice, they defeated TMDK's Harley Jackson and Ryohei Oiwa. United Empire's Francesco Akira, The Great O'Khan, Hanare, Jake Lee, and Jacob Austin Young. They defeated Unbound Codes, Drilla Maloney, Gato, Shingo Takagi, Taiji Ishimori, and Yoda Tsuji. Oleg Bolton and Yoshihashi teamed up as they defeated Tomoaki Hanma and Yuya Uemura. More quarterfinal matches. We had Callum Newman, the United Empire, defeating Hiroki Goto, and then Shota Umino proving out against Zack Sabre Jr., getting the win there in what was a very good match. On to the next night, which gave you the semifinals. We had the Goto Revolutionary Army of Hiroki Goto, Tatsuya Matsumoto, and Yoshihashi. They defeated Team 100 of Satoshi Kojima and Tai Chi, along with Masatori Yasuda. El Desperado, Master Wato, and Yo. They defeated House of Torture members Doki Sho and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. United Empire's Francesco Akira, Hanare, Jake Lee, and Jacob Austin Young defeated Unbound Codes, Daiki Nagai, Drilla Maloney, Shingo Takagi, and Taiji Ishimori. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, and Ren Narita. They defeated Aaron Wolf, Tomoaki Hanma, and Toru Yano. Team DK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. They ended up defeating Unbound Codes, Gato, Oscar, Yuto Ice, and Yoda Tsuji. Based on that match, it seems that they're going to run back the tag team match between Zack Sabre Jr., Ryohei Oiwa, and the Knockout Brothers at some point. And then for the semifinal matches, here we had Yua Uemura defeat Oleg Boltin, and what I can only say is Oleg Boltin's best match to date. So props to Oleg Boltin there. Props to Yua Uemura there. What a match between those two. Nothing but high praise for those two guys in that match. And then Callum Newman, man, he went one-on-one against Shota Umino. Callum Newman gets the win here as he goes on to the finals in what was an incredible match. Yet again, another match here where Shota Umino was able to show out and show that he can still hang and he's still part of that new generation and he still needs to be regarded. Callum Newman got the win there. And then we have the finals that happened yesterday. We had Konosuke Takeshita having a special New Japan World TV title match against a unnamed opponent at the time, and then it comes out to be Yujiro Takahashi. So we all know Takeshita was going to win that match. El Desperado, Masatori Yasuda, and Tai Chi, they defeated the Goto Revolutionary Army of Hiroki Goto, Tatsuya Matsumoto, and Yoshihashi. House of Torture members Doki Sho and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, they defeated 6 or 9 of Master Wato and Ryusuke Taguchi along with Yo. United Empires, Great O'Connor and Nare, they defeated Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma. United Empires, Francisco Akira, Jake Lee, and Jacob Boston Young, they defeated the Unbound Codes, Drilla Maloney, Shingo Takagi, and Taiji Ishimori. We had Aaron Wolf, Oleg Boltin, and Toru Yano defeat House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, and Ren Narita. TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. They defeated the Unbound Codes, Daiki Nagai, Oscar, Yoto Tsuji, and Yuto Ice. And then for the New Japan Cup final, which I have yet to watch, but I've only heard great things about the match itself. Callum Newman ended up winning the New Japan Cup as he defeated Yua Uemura in what seems to be heralded as one of the matches of the year so far. So props to those two young guys for continuing to push New Japan forward. On to the previews for the coming week. We have TNA Wrestling coming. TNA Sacrifice is their special event this week. In a no DQ match, we're going to have Elena Black versus Mara Sade. Eddie Edwards is going to go up against Moose. Jada Stone and Trey Miguel are going to go up against Order 4 of Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steeles. Elijah and the Hometown Man are going to go up against AJ Francis and Frankie Kazarian. For the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team 3-way match, we're going to have Ariana Grace, the champion, go up against Danny Luna and Lee Young Lee. TNA X Division title match is going to have the champion Leon Slater go one-on-one against Eric Young. And then for the TNA World title match, we're going to have Mike Santana, the champion, go one-on-one against Steve Macklin. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. They're going to be having a show called Uprising this coming week. No matches listed so far on that event, even though I did see 2 matches listed so far. But we'll break down the card when it comes. So Road to Sakura Genesis for New Japan Pro Wrestling. No matches listed as of yet, but the Road 2 shows will always have a bunch of tag matches, so just have that expectation going into it. And that, folks, is the end of it all here today. Thank you for watching as always. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. And we'll be back next week. Same time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on our respective YouTube channels with the Hit the Ropes podcast to let you know as to what everything was in the week of pro wrestling. As you can see, there's my QR code. My QR code has my socials on there. My Twitter has my Instagram, and it also has my Letterboxd account where I do all of my written movie reviews for all the movies I watched during the weeks and months and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, that's something that you guys can do there for extra content and whatnot. So appreciate y'all as always for tuning in and checking us out. Until next time, folks, as you can always know, the lights are out. It's cooler in here. And as I said last week, and I'll continue to say until she gets back, keep Delores in your thoughts, her and her family, in your prayers. And make sure you stay safe out there, folks. Until next time, I'm the Good Brother J News. We out.